Over the years, as I've been on council, I've had numerous people will ask, how in the world can you do that job? How can you take the criticism? And how can you take the name calling? Well, there's not a lot of criticism. There's not hardly any name calling. And you get kind of thick-skinned. But, one of the things that people need to be aware of is you don't have to run for public office to be an asset to your community. The city of Moscow is made up of all different types of citizens, from families to single people to university, just all kinds of just almost a melting pot. And there's ways to affect change within the city. And there's ways to affect the change within your neighborhoods. Some of you are here tonight to see how those changes come about. When I first ran for city council, I think it was like in 2007, I was asked, do you support ball fields? And I go, well, yeah, I support ball fields. And they were referring to the ball fields out on Palouse River Drive, which we kept looking at, and the longer we looked at them, the more expensive they came, until they finally hit that $8.5 million tipping point. There was just no way that was going to happen. But that still didn't lessen the need for ball fields. We had looked at the Joseph Street property off and on over the years without a whole lot of success on being able to move forward on doing anything with that, because the city didn't own that particular property. It was the school district's property. And they bought it, and they had it in mind for a particular purpose. Well, as I said, there's a lot of ways that people can affect change within their community. It takes stubbornness, it takes tenacity, but it takes support from a group of people around you also. I think Greg Papanoff came to about 150 city council meetings. At least it seemed like it. And he started talking about we need to do something in conjunction with the school district on the Joseph Street property. We need more ball fields. And he was bound determined he was going to get them. And so I know that all of you have heard me talk about how slow the wheels of government turn. Well, he got behind the wheels and he started pushing. And tonight I'm giving my personal thanks to Greg Papanoff for all the work that he did, all the discussions he held, all the cajoling, but he never did it in an aggravated manner. He was always polite, but he was always to the point, and he was always firm. And he was never swayed from his mission. And it finally came to pass that the city was able to pay off the money owed on the Hamilton Indoor Recreation Center and free up some money from the Hamilton Low Fund. And we were able to come up with $1.5 million in matching funds. And the school district decided that they were going to run their bond, a facilities bond, for repair, and included in that would be ball fields if it passed. So I think Greg and a lot of people were behind supporting of that particular bond for the school, and as you all know, it passed. The question I would ask is, if Greg had never decided that this had to happen, if he was like so many other people that just remained complacent and just shook their head and didn't do anything about it, would we be having ball fields starting to become constructed by next year? Would the bond have even passed? It passed with 67%? 68? Almost 68.
69.6. 69.6.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So, the purpose of this renewing our focus tonight was simple, and that was to thank Greg Papanoff for his efforts, his tenacity, and his desires to create ball fields. Thank you, Greg, for what you did. I appreciate it, and I think everybody on the council appreciates the way you brought it forward, the manner with which you did it, and the results that you received. So thank you. And with that, well deserved. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Wayne, and thank you, Greg.